Hey, it's James speaking, tradingsites.io. Digital exhaust, what the heck is it? Why should I want to know about it? How does it help me if I'm starting, building, or growing an education business? Well, I want you to think of it this way. If you got up this morning, you logged in, maybe you checked your email if you're old like me, or maybe you checked your messages, your DMs, your social media, you're playing around. At some point, I'm going to suggest that you probably went and you logged into ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini, and you started having a session with AI, your digital assistant, that digital employee. You're either asking questions or asking it to do things. Now, why is that important? Just to put this in perspective, how many AI chats do you think will happen in the next 24 hours? We're actually looking, from the stats that I picked up this morning, 3.5 to 4 billion chats are going to happen right today in the next 24 hours. Those conversations, if they are not captured, organized, and curated, are out to the ether. They are gone. And that digital asset for you and your conversations is absolute gold if you're starting and building your growing education business. Now, why do I think that's important? Because I what used to be a course business or a membership site or maybe a standalone community, I think of things with an education business now as a campus. And that is a whole ecosystem about a specific topic, category, and outcome that you're promising for people. So whether it's how to play guitar or classical guitar, or how to play soccer, or hit a baseball, or be a better professional speaker, or in my case, start, build, and grow your education business with your own privately branded campus, all of that information comes from a community library, a shared knowledge base that comes from you, the interactions that you have with your students and or customers, and the interactions that they have with you and your community. So a privately branded campus, that's the core piece, is making sure that you have a curated library that everyone can learn from. Now the question becomes, in the past, that library was often focused on, I'm the instructor, I put in a course, a static course, and I tried to create courses as quickly as possible. Now, with all of the AI stuff happening, that really doesn't have much value anymore, because anyone can create courses, static courses, in a couple minutes just using AI. Uh, and so can your competitors, so can your students. So there's not necessarily value in the content itself if you're looking at it from the format of a static course. What's happening is that because of AI, avatars, agent automations, and multiple agents are now able to pull from anywhere, but in our case, from our community library, to be able to provide personalized solutions for people that are not courses for everyone, but are courses or information or processes that they can apply to your library to get what it is that they're looking for. This is something that removes a lot of the overwhelm, because you have a shared space and a shared knowledge base to go from. So how do you build it if you're not doing courses? You have to start collecting your digital exhaust. And what I'm talking about when I think about digital exhaust is all of the things that you do on a regular daily basis over and above what you capture when you're having AI conversations. So let me just give you some examples of what that actually happens. And in fact, one of the things that I'm doing right now, technically, is explaining what I'm doing while I'm doing it. So I've had this conversation that I had this morning, just going through how I'm going to actually present this, all of the talking points, examples that I'm doing it, why I'm doing it. So this information right now that's on the screen with ChatGPT, what I'm doing is I'm recording what I'm doing while I'm doing it. And then the other thing is that anytime I get something that's important, depending on the tool that I'm using, I'll go and I'll basically open up and save it as a doc. See if we can get my keyboard. There it was. So I'm just going to open up a doc here, paste it in, and I've now got 10 real world examples of digital exhaust, which is information that I got from one of the chats that I have that is valuable for me and for the people that I'm trying to help. This is just a simple example of taking stuff from a chat and saving it in another format, in my case, which is a Google Doc. And the way that I work things, again, personally, is that I save everything to unique folders, and I create folders in YouTube videos, which has all of my notes. Now you're probably asking, like, why do you do that? What are the things that are important? What does that have to do with anything? Well, the cool thing is that what's happening now with all of the changes in AI, the big one is called MCP, which is Model Context Protocol. And think of it this way, is if someone has an AI tool account, for example, like ChatGPT or Claude, even Gemini does it with Google Docs in my particular case, that library is now available to the AI tool to pull through and go take a look at all of the docs in your Google Drive. It can go and search for things. It has all that information and knowledge that's there. And if you're copying stuff or saving stuff from your AI chats, that's in your library. And anytime in the future when you have an AI agent or an avatar, which I think are going to be the big ones in 2026, they're going to be able to pull from your community library only if you've saved it. So if you haven't saved it, what are some of the other things that you can do? I'm saying save everything that has value based on your topic and your expertise and put it somewhere that you can keep it. Now, there's all sorts of different ways of doing that. I, just put it into Google Drive because that's a simple one for me. And again, we can probably talk about it in some other videos, some other choices. There's no right way or wrong way to do it. The thing is, you've got to try and be consistent, or as consistent as you possibly can when you're working through all of those. Some of the ones that I'm kind of thinking about doing this is that anytime I'm working on a particular project, whether it's working on a document, whether it's working on a piece of software, explaining what I'm doing, I try and record everything that I do and I narrate what I'm doing while I'm doing it. And what do I narrate about? I narrate about the choices and decisions that I have to make while I'm doing it. So for example, if you're using, even a spreadsheet, you have three different options here. Option one is this, option two is this, option three is that. I usually do option two, and this is why. Just explain what it is that you're doing while you're doing it. Use a simple tool like Snagit or Loom or Vimeo Recapture. And it doesn't matter if it's a spreadsheet, you can do this while you're walking around on your smartphone. Just record it. Why are you going to record it? Because it can be part of your community library using things like the transcript, converting it to text, or taking the video, creating a transcript from it, and then saving the transcript in as a Google Doc. And you can have some simple AI automations or agents that will actually do that for you, which are some of the ones that we've covered in other videos. Simple things like Zoom calls. Make sure you record all of your Zoom calls. Make sure you have the AI assistant on in Zoom, which has the pieces of it. If you're doing live classes, if you're doing live streams, if you're doing client meetings and you have their permission, of course you can do it. If you're doing any kind of webinars or presentations, save everything and make sure that you can put it in a central repository where it can be repurposed or added or used in your community library. If you're doing coding, if you have a daily work log, things that you're working on like that. If you're doing any whiteboarding when you're in the office, brainstorming, if you're brainstorming with ChatGPT or the AI tools, if you're doing podcasts, if you're a guest on a podcast, if you're brainstorming with other people who aren't in your business, just record everything. And you want to make sure that you put it in a single place, preferably so that it is easy to get to, easy to annotate, not for you, but for the AI agents and the AI avatars that are going to be grounded on your particular content. This is something that is really simple that I think is more important than you realize. Often, personally, when I get going on things, I always want to create courses because that's what I always did. But I can't create courses fast enough anymore to keep up with the changes in the amount of content and the way that access to information and education is changing. This is a completely decentralized type of education now, where it's not a course, but it is a community library of shared information. And the biggest library that is focused on a specific transformation is the one that's going to provide the most value because of AI being able to parse, summarize, change, mix, match, all of the things that each personal learner needs to learn while they're learning what it is that the community library is about. Process walkthroughs, everything like that is very, very easy to do if you just get in the habit of starting to do it. So let me just, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go take a quick look. I just want to make sure that I go through my notes. And again, here's an example of how I do it on a regular basis. One of the things we just did today is I went through and I was doing my research. And what I do when I do my research is I basically build out, I'll show you this right now. What I try and do is I build out a mind map. And the reason I build out a mind map is these are the talking points that I'm doing as a result of the chat that I had in ChatGPT. And that's things, for example, where I'm talking about the daily output, how many recordings, chats, emails, stuff that you do. And again, it's not just recordings, it's emails. You can also do a blind carbon copy to an email address to keep your emails. Remember now that Model Context Protocol works with all of the main tools. It basically allows AI to go check your email, go check your direct messages, go check your files on your hard drive, go to a piece of software and take a look at what was saved there, whether it be Notion or some other tool. So the AI agents now, or the AI tools, actually have access to the information all over the place if you save it and capture it. If you don't save it, it's not available to it. So it doesn't have to be overly structured, but you have to at least have certain types of information that you find of value be in a particular place. And here's kind of, what I look at. It's like capture everything, curate it. If you capture it and you look at it and say, that's not something I believe, or that doesn't really apply, that's fine, delete it. Um, but take a look at it and learn from it yourself. Remember, if you're using any of these AI tools, it doesn't have to be necessarily something that only happens for the course students or the campus students or the customers. This is stuff that you can learn from. Go and analyze all of my previous documents that I put in, or go and look at my calendar, see what kind of stuff I've been doing. Go and look at the Slack channel or the information I've been doing in instant messaging. Go and look at my trouble tickets in my business or the emails that I've sent out. Go and do all of these things where you can actually learn from the content that you've actually created and captured, and repeat what works and do less of what doesn't work. And I think the cool thing that comes out of this, and again, these are just notes that I took from my own digital exhaust while I was doing it. This mind map is saved as a markdown file, and it's saved to a folder which is about this particular topic. This content in the folder is available in my community to the AI agent that I have right now, which is a chatbot on the site. So anything that I'm doing is being made available within the community library. The community library is being made available to AI. And this is really the cool thing that's happening here, is that the AI is connecting directly to the community library. And again, I'm talking about having things like those AI chatbots on the site, which is something that you can see right now, that are actually giving responses based on the content on your website. It's actively looking on your website. What page am I on? Who am I talking to? What have they asked before? Again, that personalized knowledge or personalized learning experience is there. Things are being captured now where they actually live. It doesn't mean that we have to capture it and put it somewhere else. If you start using these tools, just save them to the place that the tool saves it, or use a simple AI agent to actually go and move it to a particular folder. One of the things actually that I was just playing around with yesterday, that, let me just see if it's live on this one, I'll pull it up. There, I didn't do this one. Let me see if we'll open another page. I actually think I have it here. One of the ones I did, I basically created an agent. And what happens is I just give it a YouTube transcript, and it automatically creates a whole bunch of files in a unique folder, summaries, markdown files, all of the stuff about that particular YouTube video is repurposed, synthesized, and put into a folder with a unique topic and idea and notes on my Google Drive, and it's made available. So that's just an example of some of the things you can do using these agents and opening things up. And the more you share, the smarter your campus gets. It's the best part. This is a continual learning process that the more stuff that you do, the bigger your library gets. The bigger your library gets about a consistent topic and category, the more value that it has and better the answers that AI is able to generate based on your library. So the smarter things, the smarter or bigger your library gets, and the more curated about a specific topic, the options, notes, the decisions and lessons that are picked out from it, the more value. And the real kind of bonus to this allows not only you, but the people that are in your community to learn faster, because they can take advantage of the things that work and the things that don't work based on the experience of the other people. It's not just a static course that says, here, this is what you have to do to be able to get there. It's more about, hey, this is what I tried that worked in my situation. I tried that, it was awful. It was a pain in the butt. I had too many things to go wrong with it. Not fast at all. This is what worked here. This is what didn't work. This is the steps that I took. These are the tools that I used. This is who helped me. All of this stuff is in one place only if you start capturing it. So when you're going to have your next chat, when you're going to have a conversation with AI or someone else, when you're going to be doing your work as part of what you do on a daily basis, just start getting in the habit of capturing it and explain what it is while you're doing it and save it somewhere. And whether that starts off to be a Google Drive, a Google Sheet, any kind of video from any kind of tool, just keep it in one place, because that community library is the big digital asset for you and your education business, because AI is plugging into it. And if you can have a great library, you're going to be able to have a great AI experience. And not necessarily, and I'm just going to share this with you because we're going to cover it in the next video or one of the next videos. The real bonus here is the classes and the live lessons that we have that guide people through the processes from your community library. This is James speaking. It's trainingsites.io. Like and subscribe to the channel. Give me some comments. Let me know what you think or what you like or what you don't like. Would love to hear that. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure to go to the trainingsites.io/join site and join in and have some fun starting, building, and growing your education business. Take care. Expect the best.